Hey parents, welcome to Knights Parent University. This is our first video for the year. This is going to be about study tips and starting the year off right. Sometimes our students, our kids, they have missing information in their foundation. So a lot of times it's not a fault of their own. They're just missing certain bits of information, and tutoring can help with this. So if they're at home and they're studying and they have questions that they can't find in their notes or find online, they can always go to this FEV tutoring, which is in their student view. They log in and they can have tutoring using an online session at that moment. If they prefer to be with the teachers, if they prefer to have that one-on-one interaction in person, teachers are going to be offering study sessions for after school, and those dates will come out soon. Also, teachers will often meet with students during the lunchtime for help. They have to give up their lunch time, but they can take their lunch into the classroom and the teacher can help. They'll just need to let the teacher know that they're interested in doing something like that. All teachers are different, so not everybody will offer the same things, but those are some things that they can do. Study habits. In class, students need to be taking notes. Sometimes teachers give the notes, but they need to do something so that they can organize the notes. Cornell notes are the most popular, but there are different kinds, and it doesn't really matter what the students use as long as they know how to use them and effectively take the notes that they need. We recommend that students study in short sessions, no more than 20 minutes at a time, with about an 8-minute break in between. We remember the first things, we remember the last things. We don't always remember what's in the middle. So breaking this up into short periods is going to help with that middle information. Study in the format of the test. If it's a multiple choice, when students are going through that information, ask multiple choice questions so that they can start getting the feel for the test and how to answer the questions. If it's short answer, then ask short answer type questions so that they can give you that information, or they can repeat back that information. A lot of students feel like reading through the notes is how you study. They read through it one time and they're like, oh, I studied. But it takes interaction with the notes. Read through the notes, cover things up, ask questions. That's the only way that you're going to be able to interact with those notes in order to remember things. There are online tools that you can use. Quizlet is the most common. You put the information in, you can get quizzes out of it. There's games, you can create tests. There's so many useful tools for that. Some kids just use flashcards or other simple non-online tools, which is completely fine. Just whatever works best. One of the things that we suggest is study with your kids. In the car is a great time to do this. Ask your kids questions about what they're learning. Ask them to explain things. Teaching is the best way to learn something. So when they are teaching you, they're actually learning more than what they had anticipated. So study with your kids. It's a great help. So we have this idea called the loop of doom, and that's basically if they get a bad grade, they hear criticisms from other kids or parents or teachers, which we don't mean it to be criticism, but sometimes that's just how it comes across, which is going to lower the confidence. It's going to reduce their effort. They get a bad grade, and so on and so forth. A gap in the foundations can cause this. Them going through something in their life, if they're having stress or if there's an event that happened, all this can cause this, get them into the loop of doom. But the biggest contributor to the loop of doom is going to be attendance. It's the biggest contributor here at Shadow Hills. So what happens is student miss school. They miss the information, they get a bad grade, they're missing the fundamentals that they need for that class, and then they have this feeling of low confidence. Sometimes you hear kids say, I feel stupid, and then they want to miss more school. And so it continues with that loop of doom. So being at school is super important, even if it feels like a day that's going to be easy to miss. be here because it could be that little bit of information that you need to be successful. As parents, there's some things that you can do. You have parent view, so please check your parent view. I would recommend doing it about once a week. Do that with your student so that you see the same things they do. If you don't have parent view for some reason, you can call the school and we'll get it for you. If you just don't know how to do it or don't want it, you can always check it with the student. The student has student view. Go through that with them. Have them pull it up, go through it so that you see what they see what you see, and you can have those conversations. If you need, you can always email the teacher. They're in charge of their grade books, so they're going to be the ones that can answer those questions, tell you what to do, how to do it, and the best way to get there. If you reach out and they don't get back to you, then you can always reach out to the counselor, and then we'll do on our end what we can. There are small academic support groups that we can get kids into. Sometimes it's just teaching study skills. Sometimes if they're just going through a life event and they just need help to, have some coping skills, we can do that. It is not a therapy group. We don't do therapy. We just give tools on how to proceed and move forward. You can always meet with the teachers, request a meeting, and then you can always, after that point, meet with the counselors as well. But one of the things you really need to do is hold your child accountable. Check this parent view weekly, make sure you know what's happening and they know that you know what's happening. If so, comes to it, give short consequences for about a week. Make sure you follow through. Don't give them consequences and then take it back. Make sure they follow through, and then give awards and incentives. So, but keep those small as well. So telling your kid that you'll take them to Disneyland if they get straight A's over the next 4 months, that's too far for the incentive to go out. So keep them short, usually within like a week or two, and the same with the consequences. If you find yourself struggling, you really need help, or you need to understand something, the school psychologist often holds seminars for parents to help in difficult situations. So feel free to reach out to counselors for that information as well. So this is the presentation that we put together. I hope you find it useful. If you need anything else in the meantime, just please reach out to the counselors and we'd be more than happy to help you out with whatever you need. All right, have a great school year.